Joseph here from Echo Force Studios, and today's htaccess tutorial we're going to be focusing on creating custom error pages or error documents called in htaccess. What this will do is it'll override the server's default one. And if I get rid, for example, if I comment this out by doing this, oops, two of them and two at the other end, which is basically saying it's comment, and it doesn't want it to run it just wants to ignore it. And this will see, as you can see here, we want to override the server's default 404 pages 403 and other codes like this. This document I'll have linked in the description, where it has a nice blog post on it and a list of the codes. Obviously, the ones, the accessible ones, you don't want an error page of them because 400, 200, they're good things. This one down, redirects you could have sometimes, and then client errors, obviously 400 bad, 401 unauthorized, payment requested, which one you don't see very often, 403 which is forbidden, you don't have access, look at that, 404 obviously file not found, method not allowed, and goes on and goes on. The ones we're going to be focusing on most of the time, you're going to be focusing on is those two, which is 403 and 404, forbidden and not found. Obviously down here you have server errors, an external server error, and some other ones that you could have custom pages for, but hopefully the end user will never see those pages, so you don't really need to worry them. So 403 and 404 is important. So when you're creating an error document, to start off, what you want to do is you want to put error document, like so, then the code is going to be 404, then a couple of spaces or so, just tab along a couple of lines, then have a /. There are three ways of doing this, and we're going to focus on all three of them one at a time, obviously. You want it for just to load a file up from the root of your site, you can do this, which you can go /404.html, which is the file. Some people stand out this belief that it has to be a .php file, which is not true, but obviously the file has to exist. So as long as the server supports the file type, you should be okay. So obviously we have this set up here, and now if we go back, whoops, I just tabbed along. If we go back to our not found page, refresh this here, it'll load up our custom not found, and it's just like that, and as you can see it's working fine. The other two options are, the next one is the one you see for 403 here, is instead of loading an external document, or loading a document from the server, you can put two speech marks, and then in here you can put what you'd have in there. So we're going to go 404 page not found. Quite simply like that. Just save that, refresh, and it will load that up. With this, as well, the HTML document, you can put in HTML tags. So for this we could go header 1. Obviously you want to end the tags as normally would, following HTML standards, and you can see it's got a header 1. And you could basically write the document in there, but I wouldn't recommend it, because obviously that would make a big file. So once you've done that, the other option, the third one, is to actually, instead of loading it from the server or doing it that way, is you could just load it from an external website, go to a different domain for some reason. So for this again you must have htaccess, then the file name, and then where the 404 is, which for this is like so. Oops. And what this will do is you'll refresh the page, and it will say it's not found. The server will find that out, and it will redirect to that 404 on your site, a different site like that. It's good depending on your server settings. I would recommend it just depending on what you're doing, because sometimes doing it like that, doing it like this one, or doing it like that, you're not really going to work. Again, if you want to set them up for each different error document, you just go down to a new line, put the code, and put whatever you want there, however you want to put it up, as in text, or a file, or a URL. So it's quite simple. The first thing to note is when doing this is to be careful. You've got to remember that all your text or HTML has to be inside these two speech marks. So for example, if I now do this, I will now get an internal server error on all the pages from the localhost, because there is an error in the document itself. So, and the other thing to notice that I have interest, I don't know if this is on all servers or just on this one, is if I do that and don't end it, it works fine. It probably shouldn't, but the localhost I'm using, which you just saw there, is a bit buggy. to say the least. So I'll put the links to that in the description. So guys, that was how to create basic error documents using an htaccess file. This is the first of the htaccess tutorials I'll be focusing on, so check out the playlist. There won't be a previous video on that, obviously, because it's the first in the series. Subscribe if you like what you saw for more videos. I've also done GoDaddy tutorials and 00webhost.com tutorials. Check out Facebook and Twitter, and I'll again put this link in the description, and I'll see you around in the next video.